Who, the birdie? Shoot, shoot. YouTube, what it do? It's currently 8:55 in the morning. About to bring my son to daycare. But I did just want to hop on here, give y'all a quick, talking video. What's going on, buddy? He's over there playing. But, I just want to come on here, talk to y'all, and say, most traders can have the best strategy. They actually have a good strategy and still blow up a small account, especially starting out early. So, I want to dive into that, and y'all gonna come with me throughout my day. So, let's go drop off my son at daycare. A big hug.
What is scorpion?
Go get a big hug.
What is scorpion?
All right, y'all. Let me put this down. We just dropped off my son, as you can see. But we getting started on the day now. And like I was saying earlier, I've seen tons and tons of smart traders blow up small accounts, and it has nothing to do with how smart you are or what strategy you have. A lot of the times, most strategies work, and most strategies, if they're played out correctly, will benefit you if you follow the rules and the structure. But a lot of times, that's what most traders are missing. It's that structure. It isn't the strategy, guys. It's not how smart you are, but it's the structure. And when you don't have structure, a lot of things can happen to you. Most traders, like starting out, usually most traders will get into the market. They'll have some nice wins, early wins. And what happens from those wins, it's kind of, shooting you in the foot, because most traders will go and get super confident. They get super, super confident after those early wins. You see the green, and I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it. It's happened to me, but I've seen it, especially lately with trading becoming even popular with the younger crowd, and social media being even more of a presence in our lives. You see it every day. Somebody makes a good trade, now they're teaching people how to trade. And it's like, man, what happened to everybody just trading for their own good and trading for their own bag and pocket? But going back to what I was saying, usually once you get that overconfidence, you have 3 identities. And usually those 3 identities aren't good, but you grow from them if you're patient enough. And you fall into the category of either a gambler, the hero, or you become the last identity, which is the gambler, the hero, and what's the last one? I forget. Gambler, hero, or you become the victim. How could I forget that? The victim is the most important one, because it usually comes after the first 2, so let me explain them. So, starting out, you get those early wins, like I said. And with that overconfidence comes you making bigger trades. I'm not gonna disclose any names, but I've had friends that have had money, put it in an account, traded it, followed the trend, and they made an exorbitant amount of money. So they turned, let's just say they turned 2,000 to 30,000, right? And that was 2 to 30,000, man. That's a lot of money. No matter where you are in your life, if you turn 2,000 to 30,000, that's a lot of money. You're talking about a $28,000 profit. And this is all within 1 to 2 months. What comes from that is you becoming overconfident, and you become and have the identity, you develop the identity of a gambler. Because what happens is you start to risk higher, start to put more on the trades. Maybe you were risking 1,000, now you're risking 2,500 a trade. And it's like, man, why am I doing this? But you're not thinking about this in the moment. You're thinking, man, if I hit this, I'm gonna make 2,500. I'm gonna make 3,500 now. Because if I turn 2 to 30,000, that means that I'm like that. And I'm not gonna say you're not like that, but what's going to happen next is usually the downfall. That downfall is very hurt. It's very slow, and it's a grinding downfall. So you might revenge trade. You might hold trades longer. It's like, man, we shoot ourselves in the foot every time we do that. And starting out, there's no guidance usually, unless you have a good mentor. And those are things we all kind of go through. So don't feel bad if that's what you're going through or you've been through it. Because once you get out of that gambling mindset, you usually develop this next identity, which is the hero. And the hero is the dude that needs to be super right, needs to always be right on their trades. They need to predict the market, need to predict that it's going to hit here and reject here and respect this level. And they can't be wrong. You can't tell this person that they're wrong or that they don't know something. It's like you have to be a hero, and you have to save the day for all of us, right? Save the day for your own account. But you can't, because now you're chasing trades. Now you're forcing trades. You're trading in chop. Like right now we're dealing in a choppy market, and I'll be honest, I'm over trading because I'm trading in this choppy ass market, and it's not benefiting me. It's not benefiting the way I approach the market and my structure. But that's me. I can now realize that after a couple trades and realizing that I'm forcing it, and that comes with time. But you have to be the hero. The hero is the funniest because I've helped people trade. I've helped people set up accounts, learn about trading in the stock market, and I've seen that people develop the hero mentality very, very early. Sometimes they develop the hero mentality before they develop the gambling mentality. And it's just, whoa. My fault. I drive in the worst state, as you know. My state has the worst drivers. But the hero is very dangerous because at least the gambling mindset is honestly kind of normal. Like most people, when they see numbers, especially the stock, I always say the stock market and gambling are kind of synonymous. They're very, 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 they're parallel, but they're opposites. Because one, you have more, research and data to go off of. And gambling, you're really just taking an educated guess. So I say all that because I just want to bring up the last identity. The last identity is the victim. And usually the victim doesn't come out unless you're super, your self-esteem is low. You don't really believe in yourself or your abilities. Usually I see the victim come out after the first two identities. So, you gambled, you were a hero, now you always trying to be right, but now you're a victim. The stocks aren't messing with you, or the news is affecting you. Trump said something. What? You didn't have the right indicator on. You didn't mark out a level. Like, there's always an excuse when you're a victim. And when you have that identity of a victim, it's almost the same as the hero, because nobody can tell you you're wrong or right, but at the same time, you're still lacking a sense of, sorry guys, I'm driving and recording, don't do that, but you're lacking a sense of accountability. And a lot of you guys, hold on, and accountability is one of the most important things when you're trading. You need to be able to cut your losses early, cut them short, so you're not getting affected by all this chop and getting affected by, like, if you know a trade is bad, you get out and you accept the loss. But if you over risking, over trading, nobody can tell you that you're wrong, nor can we tell you that you need to do something different. because you've developed these 3 identities instead of creating a structure. And most people, like, I wish I did this when I was starting out, but what can I say? Like, you learn this on the go. At least when I started, I learned on the go. So now I can confidently say, like, I built a structure for myself because I actually take the time to look at myself, to analyze what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, what strategies fit me best, like where do I perform the best, And when you have a structure, you don't need to deviate or create another identity. You don't need to fall within those categories of gambling, being a hero, or just being a victim. Like, that's realistically, you're losing the game before you even start. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter how good you are reading a chart or being technical or none of that. If your emotions aren't good, your psychology isn't good, there's no point in you even trading. I'm telling you right now, because you must look within. So I hope y'all enjoyed that little psychology video. As you can see, I'm starting my day. There's about 15 minutes left until the market opens, so we're gonna see how we do. I'm way more active on social media with Instagram, so follow me on Instagram at the Priceless One. Also follow me on the X. I'm gonna put it up here. And then I'm also very active on Threads now. So X and Threads, I'm posting. You see me spitting, don't say nothing. But I am active on Threads and on X, so definitely tune in. We're dropping gems, we're dropping content for y'all, and yeah, we're gonna see how we maneuver and get through this market, this choppy market of March. It's been very choppy in February and March, so oh my gosh, my car. But yeah, I'm gonna see y'all. Love y'all. I hope you have a good day. Hope you make some money. And if you don't, I hope you save some money. I'll see y'all. Peace out.